should get some points.
I mean, I look at that. Like I look at Holmberg, Minton, and Domi, and if there's one thing I know about Domi, if you're playing him on a third line with like not offensive players, like Minton's got a bit of touch, but Holmberg's got the opposite of it. You're just going to lose him. He's not as involved.
No, he told us he doesn't care if he gets.
No, it's just, but like you're not using him properly, and it's like that's maybe it. He doesn't have the experience of having him. Like Sheldon kind of figured it out towards the end of last year where to play him, but it's just you're losing him playing him on the third line. It's not the right spot for him. So, anyways,
no, Domi, Matthews, and Marner to me,
yes,
against Anaheim tonight makes sense.
They would terrorize the Ducks.
Yes.
I did a little thing on Pinto last night, who has 1 goal and 3 assists for Ottawa this year in about 20 games, and looked at the difference for him as line mates. He played last year with Kachuk, Norris, Bathurst, and those guys. This year he's playing with Amadio, Greg, and Gregor. Sorry, and like that to me is Domi. Is like his numbers are down. It's like, well, Holmberg's not going to shoot it in the net. I know he did last game, but it ain't going to happen often. So
yeah,
Jake McCabe.
Yeah,
He's back.
I think he'll go a long way to helping Craig Berube get the puck out cleaner.
Let's listen. Clip 1 on McCabe coming back.
Yeah, he's a big part of our team back there with, him and Tanny, shutdown pair and penalty killing and just, physical play and just, defending and things like that. So he's a big part of our team. So it'd be great to have him back.
One of my favorite ideas for a sports talk radio show, maybe brought this up before, but is the hockey nickname quiz. And Tanev to me, Tanny is not what I would go with.
Oh yeah, Tansy?
Tanner.
Tanner?
Tanny to me doesn't sound right. Anyways, that's a sidebar.
That's a very Jay and Dan.
Tanny.
Luke
Tanny?
Gastic knows all the nicknames.
Yeah, I actually should do this with him. Like
He
it's like,
knows all of them.
but like Tanny, it's Tanner. Anyways,
Tano.
go ahead.
Danny Tanner.
Yeah, prior to McCabe going down, him and Tanny
No, it's not right.
No, we can't do it.
It's not right. It's just not right.
didn't roll out that
No.
well. As good as any that we've seen around.
Yeah, and I think he mentioned that clip about how they need to get out of their own end.
Yeah.
That's something I've noticed without him they've missed. Like just a quick little slip to the middle or break up a play, and obviously Timmins and Myers can't quite do it like McCabe does.
And McCabe's
Caber.
Caber?
sneaky, sneaky leader in that room.
I don't know
Where
if
you
it's
don't
sneaky anymore.
You don't really kind of think about him as that first wave of go-to guys, but I'm telling you right now, he carries a big stick in that room.
Really?
Well, I mean, every time I see him do an interview, the more his nose is broken and the more I respect him as a leader. It's like, this guy looks like he was, if he's not going to be an extra in Peaky Blinders, he's going to be a leader on a hockey team.
I wish I could give credit to whoever I saw put this out, but it was like, he looks like he would carry a Tommy gun in a gangster
dressed like
movie.
me.
Yeah. Like his face looks like he'd carry a Tommy gun in a
Yeah.
gangster movie.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
He's got some grit to his
He'd
game.
go to your desk and you'd be the banker.
Oh,
And you'd
I'd
be
say
like,
yes, sir. Whatever
yes,
you
sir,
need.
whatever you
I'd
need.
definitely get shot in
Yeah.
that scene.
Oh yeah, you're done.
Done like dinner.
Scene 1.
By
Done.
order of the Peaky Blinders.
There you go. There you go.
What do you have on Lawrence?
You know that he didn't take a penalty hit this year? He leads the team in hits.
I don't know if that's allowed on like the fourth line.
No penalties.
Listen to the
Yeah,
clip. Listen to
you wanna
the clip
face watch someone.
because you don't talk. They don't. I don't think I've heard Berube really talk about Lawrence much, and he's been good. So play the clip on Lawrence. We can talk about.
Yeah, he's been really clean, which is good. He's been physical. He's one of the hit leaders on our team, and I think he doesn't get his stick in bad areas, and he skates. I think when you take penalties, you're reaching from behind, or you're not skating, moving your feet, and your sticks are in bad spots. Whether you high stick a guy, or you trip him, or hook him, or whatever. So he's been clean that way with not taking any of those penalties, which is good.
See, now we're in another era when a coach can say that in 2024. If you're on the fourth line in my era, you got goose eggs. It's okay, goals, assists, points.
No way.
Goose egg in the penalty minutes.
Yeah.
Not a good look.
No.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not talking about going out there and tripping somebody.
you're not.
I'm talking about
being enough
Having
on the
it go-
edge.
having
that
it go
sometimes
by
you cross.
five.
Hey,
You find the
how
line.
about a scrum where both of you go off for either 2 minutes or 5 minutes?
So the hits leader in the NHL is Kiefer Sherwood with about 163. Lawrence leads the Leafs with 70. Do you know how many William Nylander has?
4.
28 games.
4. I don't know.
Kip?
No.
One.
One?
He threw a body check this year.
One. There's no way that's right.
One hit.
That's some Nylander bias.
Can we
in the league
find it?
office.
Yeah,
Can
it
we
was
go on the
October
TV side?
24th or something. I actually have the stat. Where is it? Yeah, October 24th, he threw his last hit. So, for a player who has seen at least 300 minutes of ice time, he is second lowest. One player in the NHL has played more than Nylander and only thrown one hit. The answer is also shocking. Shea Theodore.
What?
A D-man on Team Canada, thrown one hit this year.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Other got names in the
Maybe
list.
he's like Lidstrom
Okay,
there. If
I
you
gotta-
got the puck all the time.
I
Tommy
gotta tell-
Novak, Jack Roslovic, Cam Fowler. Cam Fowler has 2 hits this year.
I got to tell you. Theodore, you're off.
That's enough.
You're done.
You know, my first thought
Get
is,
somebody else in there, bud. You're done.
who's counting?
Exactly.
I want to meet the guy that counts.
But the fact is, someone's counting, and they have Simon Benoit and Ryan Reeves at the top of the list with Nyes and Lawrence. Like, they're getting it kind of right here.
If
Kinda.
McCabe.
if you went up, yeah, like
Ex-player.
Pacioretty.
Doing the counting?
No.
Has he ever?
No, it's an old
Who?
guy with a monocle who just loves being at the
With
games,
this-
but that's fine.
And a
You-
seeing eye dog.
if you go up to Shea Theodore and be like, hey, buddy, you have one hit this year, he'd be like, are you nuts?
Yeah.
Are you nuts?
I'm
Like, there's
sure.
no way he would say that he has one hit.
But I told you guys, like, Tanev has 5. You know, it depends how you.
Tanev has 5 all year.
All year, 5 hits.
Oh my God, that's wrong.
Wild, eh?
Like,
He's-
what are they?
Good stick, separate.
But like, what makes a hit?
Well, that's very subjective.
Someone like pushing back.
I think someone, you go into someone hard enough that they stop their movement. How's that?
Okay.
Close?
We got to go here soon to get to Niedermeyer, but there's this clip that I had to defend my Toronto people, my Toronto brethren. Can you play this clip 7 from Berube, please, Derek?
Were you guys okay out there today? A little windy and cold for you? Or are you all right?
You made it through. Hardy Westerners like
I had a T-shirt on. Got in the truck this morning.
Alberta guy.
Was it -6 today?
Listen,
Yeah, feels like
It was
minus
chilly out there today. Like,
14.
there's no question it's cold. But
Yes.
like, why do people that are from outside of Toronto gatekeep the cold? Like, oh, you're not allowed to be cold because you're from Toronto. It's not cold there. It's not cold. I hate that. All I ever hear, like my city buddy from Owen Sound, they're like, oh yeah, it's supposed to snow 80 centimeters up here. You get any down there? Like, no one. Just stop that. Stop gatekeeping the cold people from outside of Toronto. It's so stupid.
We went through the same thing when I first went to training camp with the Philadelphia Flyers. It's like the Western Hockey
Oh,
League
it's
would
so
laugh at
Oh,
us
yeah.
in the O, in the Ontario League
Yeah.
for just not being
Oh,
yeah.
remotely
all the
tou-
boys in
no,
Saskatoon. It's
not remotely as tough as them.
Oh yeah, it's not.
And
It's
we were
not
like-
cold in North Bay. Eh? Like it never gets cold there. Like, give me a break.
buddy. We can't pretend that it's
Yeah.
not colder there.
Of course it's
but
colder.
They don't need to be.
Of course it's colder.
Yes.
We get it. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, but they're like, it's just the insinuation. You're so soft because it's not
I
cold.
know.
It's like, shut up.
I will tell you, lived in Alaska for years.
Listen.
It's cold and it's not fun.
No,
And
it's
not
cold.
anything to be proud of.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, the guys like wear shorts in the winter. Like, we get it. You're the toughest guy ever.
You're
It's not
so
cold.
tough.
It's not cold.
Ruby's mom gave birth in an igloo. All right, he can handle
For
the
the record,
cold.
He's cold.
He is tough. So
Oh, he's,
no,
he-
no
I mean,
challenge to him.
But I actually
specifically.
would say that he might have worn a t-shirt today.
For sure.
Like, I actually believe him. Anyways, we should go.
Okay, we'll take a quick break, and when we return, 4-time Stanley Cup champion, Hall of Famer, Scott Niedermeyer, next on The Real Kipper and Bourne Show.
The Toronto Maple Leafs may be taking a new approach to salary management, which could directly impact Mitch Marner's contract negotiations. During Kyle Dubas' tenure as general manager, the team didn't hesitate to spend heavily, and this trend began with a 6-year extension signed by Marner in 2019. At the time, Marner's $10.9 million annual cap hit set the market for superstar wingers, surpassing comparable players like Mikko Rantanen of the Colorado Avalanche, who signed a 6-year deal with a $9.25 million annual cap hit. Now, however, times seem to be changing. TSN's Pierre Lebrun recently reported that the Maple Leafs have implemented an internal salary cap, aiming to ensure no player earns more than captain Austin Matthews, who signed a 4-year extension worth $13.25 million per season in August 2023. The team's primary concern revolves around Marner's agent, Darren Ferris, who, according to Lebrun, might push for a percentage of the total salary cap instead of a fixed dollar amount. This could result in Marner's cap hit exceeding Matthews' $13.25 million, conflicting with the Leafs' new financial strategy. Ferris is known for driving negotiations to the limit, often taking his clients to free agency. This raises fears that discussions between Marner and the Leafs could drag on until July 1st, giving Marner and his camp all the leverage in negotiations. Another complicating factor is the rising market. Lebrun noted that Mikko Rantanen believes he could secure $14 million per season as a free agent. This sparks the question, could Marner demand even more? And would Ferris take that gamble, knowing the Leafs might opt to move on and sign another player? Marner has made it clear on multiple occasions that Toronto is where he wants to be. As a local player with deep ties to the city, he's expressed his desire to spend his entire career wearing the blue and white of the Leafs. However, staying with the team may require him to accept less than market value, especially if the front office remains committed to its new salary structure. Such a sacrifice could be vital for the team's collective success and to avoid financial issues that have plagued the recent past. While negotiations are still in the early stages, it's evident that Marner's future with the Leafs is at stake. Maple Leafs fans may need to prepare for the possibility of significant changes, but they can also trust in the player's commitment to the city and the franchise to find a compromise. The Maple Leafs' decision to implement an internal salary cap reflects a broader shift in their team-building philosophy. After years of prioritizing top-end talent with hefty contracts, the organization appears determined to strike a balance between superstar contracts and depth throughout the roster. This strategy aims to avoid the pitfalls of past seasons, where a lack of financial flexibility often left the team vulnerable in critical playoff moments. For Mitch Marner, this shift creates a unique challenge. On one hand, his value to the Leafs is undeniable. A consistent top scorer and elite playmaker, Marner has been instrumental in driving the team's offense. On the other hand, his ability to command a salary that rivals or exceeds Austin Matthews could put the Leafs in a difficult position, especially with a potential need to strengthen other areas of the roster. As the 2023-24 season progresses, the Leafs must weigh the potential consequences of sticking to their cap philosophy. Losing a homegrown talent like Marner would undoubtedly sting for fans and the organization alike. However, allowing one player to dictate financial terms beyond the team's structure could hinder long-term success and force painful sacrifices elsewhere. Adding to the complexity is the looming free agency of William Nylander. If the Leafs are to stick to their internal salary cap, they may also face challenges in retaining Nylander, who could command a significant raise. Balancing contracts for both Marner and Nylander within the new framework could prove to be the ultimate test for Toronto's management team. Another factor at play is the team's ultimate goal, winning the Stanley Cup. While star players like Marner and Matthews are crucial, history has shown that depth and balanced rosters often prevail in the postseason. If the Leafs fail to manage their finances effectively, they risk falling short of building a championship-caliber team, even with elite talent. For Marner, the decision to stay with the Leafs might come down to more than just dollars. His connection to the city, the fans, and his teammates could be deciding factors. If he prioritizes legacy and loyalty over maximizing earnings, there's a strong possibility that he'll work with the team to find a deal that benefits both parties. Negotiations will also test Darren Ferris, known for his hardline tactics in securing lucrative deals for his clients. While pushing for top dollar is expected, Ferris may need to weigh the risks of alienating the Leafs management and fanbase. A prolonged stalemate could damage Marner's relationship with the team and its supporters. The Leafs management, led by general manager Brad Treliving, faces a pivotal moment. Treliving's reputation as a negotiator and team builder will be on full display as he navigates this high-stakes scenario. Striking the right balance could solidify his tenure in Toronto, while a misstep might set the team back for years. For Maple Leafs fans, the coming months will be filled with anticipation and uncertainty. Marner's future, along with the team's ability to stay competitive under financial constraints, will likely dominate conversations as the season unfolds. Supporters can only hope that the team's new approach leads to greater playoff success and, ultimately, the elusive championship. In the end, the outcome of these negotiations could redefine the Maple Leafs' identity for years to come. Whether it results in retaining Marner or reshaping the roster, the team's commitment to an internal salary cap signals a clear focus on long-term sustainability. Fans will be watching closely, hoping for a resolution that keeps the team's core intact and their championship dreams alive. As the negotiations with Mitch Marner progress, another layer of complexity is added by the external competition in the NHL market. Teams with more cap space and fewer restrictions could easily present lucrative offers to Marner if he reaches free agency. The Leafs are not only negotiating with Marner but also indirectly competing with other franchises willing to outbid them for his services. One example of this is Mikko Rantanen, whose potential $14 million value on the open market highlights the growing demand for elite wingers. If Rantanen secures such a deal, it could set a precedent that Marner's camp would use as leverage. The Leafs, however, must remain disciplined, as breaking their internal salary cap for Marner could lead to similar demands from other key players down the line. The looming specter of free agency means the Leafs have a limited window to strike a deal. If negotiations drag on into the off-season, the leverage shifts heavily in favor of Marner and his agent. Darren Ferris, known for his strategic patience, could use this to push for maximum value, putting even greater pressure on the Leafs management to make a decision. This scenario also places significant pressure on head coach Sheldon Keefe. Managing a team amid ongoing contract uncertainty can disrupt chemistry and focus. Keefe will need to ensure that the team remains united and focused on their performance, even as the media and fans speculate about Marner's future. Meanwhile, the Leafs core group, including Austin Matthews, Morgan Rielly, and John Tavares, will likely play a role in influencing Marner's decision. The camaraderie among the players and their collective drive for a championship could persuade Marner to accept a deal that aligns with the team's financial structure. On the flip side, the Leafs could explore contingency plans if a deal with Marner doesn't materialize. Trading Marner would be a bold move, but it could bring significant assets in return, potentially bolstering the team in areas like defense or secondary scoring. This option, while unpopular with fans, might be necessary to maintain roster balance. The timing of these decisions is also critical. With the trade deadline months away, the Leafs must assess whether keeping Marner without an extension risks losing him for nothing in free agency. A preemptive trade could avoid this scenario, but it would also signal a significant shift in the team's short-term goals. Fan sentiment will undoubtedly influence the team's approach. Marner is not just an exceptional player, he's a fan favorite and a symbol of homegrown talent succeeding in Toronto. Losing him could lead to backlash, especially if the team struggles in the aftermath of his departure. The broader NHL landscape also plays a role. As other teams navigate their own salary cap challenges, the Leafs can learn from their successes and failures. Organizations like the Tampa Bay Lightning and Vegas Golden Knights have shown the value of balancing star power with depth, offering a potential blueprint for Toronto's future.